When you're a professional footballer, playing on the field will bring you joy, happiness and excitement. But unfortunately, there have been times when the game has taken a tragic turn and players have lost their lives while doing what they love the most. In this video, we pay tribute to 10 players who passed away while playing, highlighting their talents, their legacies, and the unfortunate circumstances that led to their untimely deaths. As a disclaimer, this video will not be monetized and please be respectful in the comments. May these players rest in peace. Number 10. Marc Vivien-Foé. While playing the Confederations Cup in 2003, Marc Vivien-Foé was one of Cameroon's biggest names in their run to the finals. Sadly, that tournament will be more remembered for the tragedy that occurred than the results on the field. In the semi-finals against Colombia, Vivien-Foé seemed more tired than usual and his coach even wanted to substitute him. He declined, and a few minutes later, he collapsed on the field. In the final, even though Cameroon lost, France's captain Desailly held the trophy alongside Rigobert's song as a side of tribute to the former Lyon and Man City player. Number 9. Peter Singzwala. Back in 2014, while playing the Mizoram Premier League in India, Peter scored an equalizer for Bethlehem Vengtlang against Shanmari West FC. He was in ecstasy and celebrated his goal with a somersault but landed on his head. Singzwala was taken to a hospital and had surgery, but still passed away. Admired by his team for his hard work and selflessness, his club Bethlehem Vengtlang retired the number 21 in his honor. Number 8. Cristiano Jr. Cristiano Jr was a Brazilian striker who played for many clubs in Brazil, including Vasco da Gama and América de Natal. But in 2004, he had his big break, leaving his country to play in India and become one of the best paid players in the country. In the final of the cup, his club Dempo was winning, and with 12 minutes left to play, he scored a goal that would seal the title for his club. To this day, we can't know the intention of the goalkeeper for sure, but he violently collided with Cristiano and he never woke up again. The worst of all is that there weren't many doctors on the field, so we'll never know what would have happened if he was properly assisted. Number 7. Beni Diarra. A former Burkina Faso international, Derme was playing in a match for the French Cup in 2016 when he had a heart attack in the beginning of the second half. He couldn't be revived and sadly left his wife and daughter behind. Out of curiosity, he played a long time for Sheriff Tiraspol, the team who famously beat Real Madrid in 2021. Number 6. Phill O'Donnell. O'Donnell was a Scotland international, very known for his tenures at Celtic and Sheffield Wednesday in the 90s and early 2000s. In the twilight years of his career, Phill returned to his boyhood club Motherwell. He spent 3 seasons there and even made it all the way to the Scottish Cup final in 2005. However, what most people will remember is a tragic match against Dundee United when he collapsed just when he was about to be taken off. This loss was felt all throughout the United Kingdom, with tributes coming from both the Scottish and English Premier League, and his number 10 shirt at Motherwell was only worn by his nephew ever since his passing. Number 5. Antonio Puerta. Puerta was a promising wing-back who had clubs like Arsenal and Man United looking to sign him. He impressed during a very successful period from Sevilla, where they won multiple titles including back-to-back UEFA Cup triumphs. But on the first match of the 2007-2008 campaign, his fate completely changed. He collapsed on the field, regained conscience, and then had another heart failure in the locker rooms. He was still alive when he arrived at the hospital, but his organs collapsed due to the long periods without blood flow. His death wasn't in vain, as after this dramatic event, FIFA ordered the installation of resuscitation rooms in every stadium that hosted the World Cup. Number 4. Piermario Mossorini. This entry is probably the most tragic in his list. Morosini lost both parents when he was a teenager, and then his older brother who committed suicide. He was left alone with a disabled sister and a dream of becoming a professional footballer. He always had a positive outlook on life, despite the various tragedies that he had to deal with. In a way, he did achieve his dream. He played 5 times in the Serie A with Udinese and also in the UEFA Cup, but after 2009, his career went downhill. He was loaned out to several Italian sides from Serie B, but never impressed enough to return to Udinese. Sadly, on the 14th of April 2012, he played his last match where he suffered a cardiac arrest and the paramedics were unable to bring him back to life. This loss was felt all around Italy, but at least his former captain Di Natale promised to take care of his sister. Number 3. Serhiy Perkin. Perkin was an Ukrainian goalkeeper who until this date is still the youngest to ever play in the Ukrainian Premier League. I believe all of us would be happier if that was the main reason we knew the man, but unfortunately it isn't. On the 19th of August 2001, during a game against Anzi Makashkala, Perkin collided with Budumbunov. Perkin died 9 days later from a brain hemorrhage, whilst the other players sustained several head injuries. This was undoubtedly the most tragic day in Russian football. Number 2. Patrick Ekeng. The former Cameroon international played in many different countries, and it would be in Romania that we would lace up his boots for the last time. On the 6th of May 2016, Ekeng came on as a second-half substitute in a match against Viitorul Constanta. He had been fatigued that day, even telling his best friend that he did not want to play. 7 minutes after his entrance, with his team leading 3-2, he collapsed. He was transported and resuscitated at the hospital, but within 2 hours, the medical staff confirmed that he had died. Number 1. Miklos Fehér. Fehér was a talented striker who played for both Porto and Benfica, but it was with the Águias that he found the most success. And when he faced Vitória Guimarães in January 2004, it seemed just like any ordinary match. He contributed with an assist, and then got a yellow card for stopping a quick restart to the match. He smiled one last time, and then fell to the floor. Initially, the Vitória supporters thought that he was just putting on an act, but very soon, the whole stadium became quiet, and the only thing that people would hear were the cries from his teammates. He was assisted by doctors, and the whole country stopped to know if he was going to survive. Sadly, by midnight, he was pronounced dead. Benfica retired the number 29 in his honor, and their next 2 trophies, the Cup and League, were dedicated to him. I hope all of these players rest in peace. Let's hope their deaths weren't in vain, and that the health and security of pro footballers continues to come first. Thank you for watching.